I have so much stuff like wrote down from when my dad died. I don't share too many stories. I just write them down. I do have 2 books out here in the cyber world and on hand. I always have them. I'm not soliciting or selling anything. I mean, they're not free, but I'm just saying, yes, I do have books to events that took place before my dad passed. My first book's pretty much about my life in general and what I've been through. Second book is some events that took place in my life, but more of an agenda that governments and all that other stuff is pushing. Some call those types of things conspiracies and all of that, but a lot of people don't do that type of research either. So again, not soliciting any of this, but just coming out more, explaining the details before y'all get the next big thing that's coming. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. I am 36 years old. Depression. I mean, I was depressed a couple times throughout life, but that was like minor things. Well, depression needs to be taken seriously in general, but I remember certain times and events of being a child and depressed, which those are events. Some of those are in my first book. But the point of me saying this was depression really didn't hit me until I was about 33 years old. Yeah, it's going on 3 years. Yeah. Anxiety. I've always dealt with anxiety. Who doesn't? But like, I've dealt with anxiety like really, really, really crazy lately. And y'all know I live in Florida, and the sun is out today, yo. It was out a little bit yesterday, but it was more cloudy. If you see my first video, you know all of this behind me was like just gray. See them blue skies. I'm gonna stay on topic more. Again, these parts of my interviews, well, not even interviews, but just whatever I'm doing at the moment is just coming straight off the top. I'm not going to edit these ones, but there is going to be material that's going to be edited. But these, you're going to get it just like it is. Start with ugly. My grandfather. That's what we called each other. He called me ugly. I call him ugly. Now, ugly is not my biological grandfather, but he been there just like he's my biological grandfather. Like, he's been in my life, or was in my life, since I was like 6 years old. Like, I used to run away when I was younger, pretty much running from problems. But I mean, like 4th and 5th grade. The first time I ran away, I was in 4th grade. He caught me during one of my, I want to say, 2nd or 3rd times running away. There's a Robin, saying that for a reason. When he caught me, so this is the thing, and you should let your children watch this, because they may make a mistake or get caught in a lie just like this. Ugly worked for the school board. Ugly worked for the school board. And the school board that he worked for, I was in that district. Like, I went to Columbus Public Schools and elementary school and some middle. Pretty much till we moved to Georgia. So, it's the second time I ran away. Ugly was riding by on his motorcycle on his break. I was waiting on my grandmother, and I didn't know where she was at the time. And he said, "Why ain't you in school?" I said, "I don't have school today." Ugly works for the school board. Put 2 and 2 together. If you have common sense, you knew exactly what it was when I just said that. I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm going to get back into pretty much our relationship. And all right, so I had a spiritual awakening. I started to enlighten myself. I started to unlearn a lot of BS that was taught to me and learning the things that I needed to. Detaching, and when I mean detaching from situations, relationships, family members, just getting myself together physically, mentally, and spiritually. All of this was taking place like prior to COVID, because I had an encounter where I woke up coughing up blood. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it was pretty bad. Almost fell, but I ain't gonna edit it out. Just keep it simple. Well, I didn't almost fall, trips. So this was February 20th. It was around 2:00 a.m. I had got a text message. It wasn't a text message first. It was a call from my brother. Y'all know I'm gonna come back. The phone call was at 2:00 in the morning. My brother lives in Tennessee. And where he lives at in Tennessee, we're like an hour apart. Well, they're an hour behind us. I am in Eastern Standard. So it's probably like 1 something for him. He left a message on my phone. He said, "You ain't got to call me back. Call mama." I knew something was up. I knew something was up. My spirit had told me something was up. Yes, I was up. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but usually when I'm up around that time, it's probably like meditating at that point of time in my life. Meditating, studying, but my intuition was telling me something. I'll be right back. I didn't call back because I didn't know what it was, but I knew what it was. Some will get this, some will not. So I go on about my morning, get up for my route the next day. I'm starting my route. And Columbus is big, but it's not. So a lot of circles, a lot of people know, everybody know everybody. I'm not about to go all around. Everybody knows everybody. So there's a couple friends that my grandmother and a couple family members that Ugly has that knows, like my mom's sister. Pros and cons to that. I'm gonna get into some of those. So I got a call from my mom, and then I got a text message from my mom. She didn't know that I didn't know. But again, I knew something was up. I had put my phone in do not disturb. I wish I did not check my phone. I'm gonna come back. I didn't call back because I didn't know what it was, but I knew what it was. Some will get this, some will not. So I go on about my morning, get up for my route the next day. I'm starting my route. And Columbus is big, but it's not. So a lot of circles, a lot of people know, everybody know everybody. I'm not about to go all around. Everybody knows everybody. So there's a couple friends that my grandmother and a couple family members that Ugly has that knows, like my mom's sister. Pros and cons to that. I'm gonna get into some of those. So I got a call from my mom, and then I got a text message from my mom. She didn't know that I didn't know. But again, I knew something was up. I had put my phone in do not disturb. I wish I did not check my phone. I'm gonna come back. And to an extent, I am a believer that everything does happen for a reason. With this particular company, my routes, a lot of them were on like Clearwater Beach or just the Clearwater area. And some of them were like hidden beach areas. Some of them was the big beach areas. So again, I'm a nature person. You see where I'm at now. I just be out. I love being by the water. I love being at the beach. I was delivering and I happened to look up and I just read the text. Did you know Mr. Butch died? That's what it was. That's why I was getting those phone calls. That's why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. Oh my gosh. I'll be right back. Messed me up because again, I was at like disbelief with it because a couple weeks prior to that, Ugly reached out to me. He FaceTimed me. And Ugly was the one, like, at one point in time when I was back home, I was Ugly's tech person. I was his IT. If there was an issue, the minor issue, he reaching out to me. Or if I'm over there, I need you to come do this, Joby, blah, blah, blah. So I was like I was that person. So to find him FaceTiming and to know how he interacts on his phone when he's doing these things was always funny to me. Because I wasn't used to it, and to see like them do that. Anyway, he FaceTimed me. He was like, man, I'm just checking on you. I want to know if you reached out to your grandma. You talked to your grandma. At the time, I did not. But he was just like, check on your grandma. Like it was that. And then to find out a couple weeks later that he had passed. Coming back. So that next afternoon, when I'm comfortable to reach out, I reach out to my grandmother, and I'm asking why, like what was going on. Now the thing with Ugly, he had COPD, he had asthma. Like, Ugly couldn't walk. I mean, he could, but he couldn't. He could be breathing all crazy. If you have asthma, you know. If you have COPD, you know. And he smoked. Well, he used to smoke. He couldn't like walk from where I am. I'm not about to flip the camera. I'm gonna just turn around and show you. Let's say to that tree. That's some distance. Not distance, but it's a little walk across the street. He was not able to do that without being out of breath. If it was cold and he walked from the curb to the door, he came in the house out of breath. So for him to last this long, and sometimes the way I say things come out harsh, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't mean nothing bad behind it. I'm hurting. I was surprised that he lasted this long, like his 70s, from all the things that just went on in life. I'm gonna step back to you. All right, now I'm coming up on a couple key parts that I really want y'all to pay attention to. Remember, I told you, like my grandma, she explained how he passed, what was going on with him, and all of that. So I'm like, okay, keep me posted. Now, mind you, he passed February 20th. Part of me, of course, nobody's ready to go back to see that, but there was just a lot going on. There was the Essence Festival coming up. There was spring break. If you fly, you know what's going on. You know what time it is. And I'm not one of them income tax ballers or scammers or anything like that. I live real life. So that ticket, it was a couple of them. I looked up one ways and all that, but I wasn't going to spend $1,500 to go put my grandfather in the ground to watch, I should say. That just wasn't about to be me. I was already messed up. You can call it what you wanted, whatever. But I wasn't ready for that. I'm about to come back. I told my grandmother, I said, people know what I call her. I ain't comfortable just to say all that just yet. Hey, if these prices don't go down, I can't make it. But after I'm done with my truck school, because at the time I just got into my CDL classes. Like that was the day he passed, everything had went through. So I was just getting ready to start, and the classes were 4 weeks and all of that. She was saying, hey, I need you, this, and that. And I remember me saying this. She was saying, I need you, this, and that. And some of us we were on speakerphone. So I'll get back into that. That's a whole nother thing. But she was just like, I need you here, this, and that. I'm gonna come back because it's probably gonna stop. I was saying, I understand that. I understand you need me here. All like pretty much attempting to do what I can do at the time, which was not much. She lost her husband. I completely understand. I overstand. I tell her that, well, this is what I can do. After I'm done with my trucking school, I can come up there and you have me as long as you need me. That's what I was going to do. I was potentially going to go back up there and possibly stay. I said I would never go back to live in Columbus, but that's what it's something that I was potentially going to do. Of course, it didn't work out like that. So that's the story of my grandfather passing. That's actually the small piece of it that I'm going to share. But yeah, it was messed up.